was driving out to Brooklyn, and going to games at like 8 p.m., playing till like 7 in the morning with my buddy, playing like 1-2 games, and driving back at like 7 in the morning, like same night. We used to go play in, the Russian outfit games on Coney Island and Avenue P, and we were like the court jesters for these guys. They got these like hardcore, legit like Russian mobsters in a 1-2 hold'em game. They'd have like $20,000 in front of them, and each their own like individual bottle of like Grey Goose, and their girls on the side. And, we'd come with like $200-300, and we would fold every single hand for like an hour and a half, playing like the biggest nits, super tight. And then we would find a good hand. We'd go in, the whole table would call us, trying to crack us. We win, they wouldn't care. They'd high five us. Right. We were like their entertainment.
But that was a lot of money for you guys.
Yeah,
right? Like you were driving home an extra $200. You were fired up.
Yeah, it was amazing. And then kind of just built it up through that. I started playing little local tournaments around here.
Why did it start in Brooklyn? Because I know there were probably 30 games between where you left your house in Coram.
Yeah.
By the time you got to Brooklyn,
and then I started playing in them. A guy I became friends with. Through Fantasy Sports League, my buddy Scott, ran this Fantasy Sports League back in '99. I was in it for a few years, and this guy Adam became a close friend of mine. Scott had put like an ad like on Craigslist, like looking for someone to join our league, because that's how you did it then, because it wasn't as popular. And this guy was like a substitute school teacher, and he joined in, and we just clicked. We became friends. He lived in Brooklyn at the time, and he knew about some of these games, and he was like, I would like crash at his house, and we just started playing them, and the games seemed like they were better than the games around here at the time. Now, as time went along, I found plenty of good games around here also.
Right. But it must have been surreal just being around the Russian mob, and that had to have its own entertainment value.
Yeah, of course. It was, it was intimidating but exciting at the same time.
Did you see anything... Like anything there that is worth chatting about, like in the games, with these Russian fellas?
They were caricatures of exactly what you would expect.
Okay.
Whatever stereotype or typical thing that you would anticipate or what you would see in the Rounders movie, they were those guys. Nothing ever really bad happened in front of us. They were fun. They were charismatic. They were like jovial. It was a kind of a raucous thing. Like it was a good time atmosphere. Now, they probably did a lot of horrific things, not in front of us. But I didn't see them. As far as we were concerned, and what my parents are like, "Are you insane? Like, what are you doing? Like, what don't?" I was like, "Mom, you don't get it. Like, they're cool. Like, it's not a big deal. So."
Were they terrified in your choices in that time period?
Yes.
Because I guess it sounds like you were telling them like what you were doing.
Yeah.
So like you obviously you were still living at home.
Yeah. I was actually living in the city.
Okay.
Because I was doing the closings and whatnot for a while. And then I came home just because I wasn't doing well money wise, and come home, you'll try to figure it out, you'll work, work it out, and get yourself back together. And I was always pretty open with them. But I'm this Jewish guy from Long Island. I went to AU. I was supposed to go practice law. I wasn't supposed to be gambling in the Russian mob underground. For my career path.
I'm sure your mom was terrified. Was your dad slightly proud?
Yeah. He was torn between horrified and proud for sure. And it became a little bit better for them as they started to see that I was taking it more seriously and taking it like a job. So
the $20,000 out of PokerStars,
I did.
Or did you say and play it live, or did you?
I did.
Did you 100%, or did you?
I left like $1,000 in there.
But you really you were putting yourself all in live.
Yeah. I wanted to play the live game because I didn't. Part of the reason why I learned poker is I had friends that wanted to get me into trading, and part of the reason I never wanted to be a trader is I didn't want to sit in front of a computer screen. I like being around people. I enjoy people. People are interesting to me. That's what interests me. Numbers are interesting, math's interesting, but people will always be the most interesting thing to me in the whole world. And I wanted the human contact. So live poker was always going to be the arena I was going to pursue.
See, I had the opposite feeling.
pretty calm guy, you know, have been, am, and continue to be for the better part of my life. You got to really get me going to get me riled up. And I remember I was playing one of these games in Brooklyn, not with those guys at the time, but with one of the kids who ran the game was the son of one of these guys. So he was no one himself. His father was. And we were playing with a bunch of other like random people, and that atmosphere was very much there. You know what you're describing, that kind of negativity and the complaining about the bad beats, and this was early on when I didn't have a great understanding of how often that happens. I wasn't a professional at the time. I was still kind of making my way in the game, and I lost a hand, and this guy was needling me. And he got me all razzed up, and he'd just been beating on me, like, game after game, and he was a terrible player. This kid, Sheldon, who was the son of one of these, like, you know, Russian mobster dudes. And I took my chips, I had, you know, a stack of chips, you know, 20 high, and I took the whole stack, and I reached back and I whizzed it at his head, like, as hard as I could, trying to hit him. And it went, like, right by his head. The room was dead silent for 30 seconds. Like, I mean, you know, like I said, the kid's not someone, but his dad is.
Right.
I was trying to hurt him. I was
Yeah.
completely out of control of my emotions. And I was like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? You know, it was actually a very good thing that happened for me because I didn't like it. I mean, one of the reasons why I don't exhibit a lot of anger or show a lot of frustration outwardly with poker, with beats in life is I feel like you're showing some degree of weakness, and you know, I don't want people to know that I'm feeling that way. It's not because